Hi ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders, welcome to another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook with Chart Engineering Pro. We really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video, and we don't take it for granted at all. If you haven't yet subscribed or you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content we post here. Also, if you find value with what we share here, be sure to like, drop your comments, share your views, and also share this video to your fellow traders or anyone who would find this information useful. Without wasting much time, let's have a quick recap of last week's setups discussed in our previous video before we dive into the analysis for the coming week. So last week we had a setup on Australian 200 where we were expecting price to drop into this area of interest for us to get a buying opportunity to the upside. Unfortunately, price kept rallying upwards and we never got that opportunity to join this buy. So going forward, if price is able to make its way back into this area of interest, we'll be interested in taking our buys again to the upside. And we had this setup from last week. Sorry. So we were looking at a bearish scenario for US30. This is US30 4-hour time frame, and price pulled back. We had a clean bearish confirmation here, and price pulled back and gave us another 4-hour bearish engulfing candle where we took our trade. Price moved into profit for a while, and then the next day CPI reversed the trade and we took a loss on this trade on US30. So previously we discussed that if price is able to break above this structural high, we should be looking for buying opportunities to the upside. So going into next week, we should be looking for buying opportunities to the upside for US30. And then we had CHFJPY. So for CHFJPY, we're expecting price to pull back into this area of interest. Price pulled back, give us a very strong bearish momentum, and it pulled back up again. Then we got this 4-hour confirmation candle, this 4-hour bearish engulfing candle during the Asian session on Friday, and we took our trade here. So price is currently in some small profits, so we are going to continue to hold this trade to our final TP. Also, if we are fortunate to get a pullback, or if price is able to create a double top for the, in the coming week, we get a possible double top, we break the neckline, get a retest, we will look for another sell entry to take the sell to the downside to complete this sell move. So this is CHFJPY. Also, we had this setup from last week where we were expecting price to react from this zone. This is NZDJPY. Price actually reacted, so we were expecting price to pull back and give us an entry, but price never pulled back. It kept dipping and dipping and dipping, so we were not able to catch this trade to the downside. But for the coming week, if we are able to get price pull back to this 4-hour structural low, we can get an entry and then sell to complete this move as we anticipated in the previous week. So let's jump into the business for the coming week. Before we look at DXY, let's have a look at the economic calendar for the coming week before we jump to the charts. So on Monday, we don't really have any high impact news on Monday. On Tuesday, there's CAD CPI. So if you are trading any CAD pair, take note of that. And on Wednesday, there's NZD official cash rate and monetary policy statement. This news is a very, very, very volatile news. And when this news is released, sometimes on GBPNZD, GBPNZD can move like 80 to 120 pips just by the release of this news. So that tells you it's a very volatile news. So you need to be on the lookout if you are holding any NZD pair around that time. We also have the GBP CPI later that morning, and then there's FOMC meeting minutes, and then on Thursday we have the flash manufacturing PMIs for Euro, for GBP, for USD, and we also have the unemployment claims for USD on Thursday. And then on Friday the Fed Chair Powell, Jerome Powell, will be speaking on Friday, and also there's this annual symposium that is held. It's called the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is also on Friday. So let's take note of these fundamentals of this news for the coming week. So let's jump into the charts. Okay, so this is DXY on a daily time frame. As we've heard from the previous weeks, DXY on a daily perspective is bullish. On a weekly perspective, it is bearish. So from the previous weeks, we were expecting price to react from either this first zone or this second zone to give us a bullish reaction to the upside. So we broke the first zone and we are currently in the second zone. So we were looking out for reversal patterns within this zone to take our buys to the upside. Alternatively, if we want to see price go bearish, then we should see price break this zone, this area of interest, break it, retest it, and give us a sell to the downside. And this looks like a possible ending diagonal development. So this is the first impulse, the second, the third, fourth, and a possible fifth wave. So we currently have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a possible wave 5. So for this wave 5 formation, we can also have a truncation where price can just truncate and give us equal lows or relative equal lows here, and we might see a possible double bottom. We might see a possible double bottom, which is going to be a very huge double bottom on the weekly or the monthly time frame. So we can see price truncate. It will not get to this point, it just truncate around this zone and then give us a bullish confirmation. We break this high, then we'll see a possible formation like a double bottom, get a retest, and then we continue to the upside. So these are the possible scenarios we are looking at. So for me, I'm still bullish for DXY. So I'm expecting some reactions in this zone. We get a buy to the upside. We clear this daily structural high, and then we get a pullback possibly into this zone. Then we get a buy, continue the buy to the upside. So in my personal bias, I'm very bullish. I'm still bullish on DXY, but it can only be bearish if we break this area of interest strongly and continue to the downside. So we had this setup for the Japanese yen index from the previous weeks. Last week we anticipated the price was going to pull back to this area of interest and give us a bullish confirmation to the upside. Price successfully broke this, came to this area of interest, broke this 4-hour structural high, and then pulled back into our area of interest again. And we got this entry on this strong 4-hour bearish engulfing. So this trade gave us this move actually gave us that confirmation also on the trade we took on CHF-JPY. So for the coming weeks, we'll be expecting a bullish movement for the Japanese yen index, and in that case, XXX JPY pairs, most of them we are going to see sales on most of the XXX JPY pairs for the coming week. So we'll be expecting price to continue this up move to complete this crab pattern that was forming some weeks ago. So this is Euro USD. So for Euro USD, I'm currently neutral on Euro USD. We don't have our full confirmations yet. From the previous weeks, we were expecting price to react from this first zone, and price broke above it and reached the second zone above. So for us to consider or be convinced that Euro USD is going to go bearish, we'll be expecting a possible reaction from this zone, maybe a double top formation, break this structural low, this 4-hour structural low, give us a pullback whether to this structural low or give us a deeper pullback upwards and to form something like a head and shoulder. Then we get our sells to the downside to complete this sell move we have been anticipating for weeks now. So I'm neutral on Euro USD. So this move can only be invalidated. This sell move can only be invalidated if price breaks above this high, these highs, breaks above them on the daily with a daily candle or a weekly candle, and then price gives us a pullback and continues the buy to the upside. So I'm very neutral on Euro USD now. We just have to allow price to develop some more and give us more confirmations to go to the downside. So on to GBP USD. GBP USD, these are the two possible scenarios for GBP USD. What we might possibly see is a possible pullback into this zone, give us a bullish confirmation and buy to the upside, give us a pullback to this possible neckline, and then continue the buy to the upside. That is for the bullish scenario for GBP USD. And for the bearish scenario, we'll be expecting price to give us a convincing break with a daily candle below this area of interest somewhere here, give us a retest, and we continue the sells to the downside. So I'm also neutral on the GBP USD. So from last week, we had a setup on NZDUSD where we were expecting price to react from this zone. So currently, NZDUSD and USDCAD are showing signs of a strong US dollar, but the Euro USD and GBP USD still look neutral. But NZDUSD and USDCAD have shown the confirmations for a bullish dollar. So we had this daily structural shift at our area of interest. Daily structural shift, this bearish strong daily bearish engulfing candle. So we'll be anticipating price to pull back either to the first structural low or pull back a bit deeper upwards and give us selling confirmations, and we sell to the downside. So I'm very bearish now on NZDUSD, and for the USD pairs, this pair actually has the cleanest price action for me so far. That's this pair, NZDUSD and USDCAD, are the two USD pairs that are giving me a clear price action. So I'll be looking forward to sales on the NZDUSD for the coming week. So this is USDCAD on a daily time frame. So last week we were expecting price to react from this area of interest, and price gave us a nice inverse head and shoulder on the 4-hour time frame. So this is the inverse head and shoulder on the 4-hour time frame. This is the inverse head and shoulder. This is the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and price broke above the neckline. So I was expecting price to pull back into this area of interest, give us a bullish confirmation, and take off to complete the deep crab pattern we had been looking at from the previous week. But price just tipped the area of interest and then gave us a strong 4-hour bullish engulfing. So we didn't chase the trade actually. So we're going to wait for the coming week and see what price will develop into, and then we can take advantage of this buys to the upside to complete this 4-hour deep crab pattern on USDCAD. So on to the next, we have EURGBP. So EURGBP, sorry, we are bearish on EURGBP. EURGBP had a strong push from this side, gave us a pullback into our area of interest, and then on the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame also shifted bearish and pulled back into our area of interest once again. So for us to take advantage of EURGBP, we'll be expecting to see a 4-hour structural shift. Maybe we should be expecting maybe a double top formation here and give us a break, and then we continue to the downside. Or what we can also be looking out for is wait for a 4-hour structural shift below this 4-hour structure, get a pullback, and look for selling opportunities and continue the sell to the downside. Since JPY index is bullish, we'll be anticipating that EURGBP should be bearish for the coming week. To the next, we had this setup for EURGBP from last week. Price made its way to this area of interest. We're expecting price to break strongly below this area of interest, but even though it broke on a daily with a daily candle, it wasn't very convincing. So we will have to wait for some more price action to confirm our sales to the downside. So for the coming week, we'll be expecting a bearish push below this area of interest, give us a pullback into the area of interest, look for selling opportunities and sell to the downside. So I'm still bullish, still bearish on Euro GBP. And we had this setup from last week, NZDCAD. So last week we're expecting price to pull back into this area of interest. Price was some few pips shy away from the area of interest, and it took off rapidly. And getting close to the latter part of the week, we saw this pullback back into the area of interest. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to some reactions, some bullish reactions within this zone, and take it to the take the buys to the upside. The only way this pattern will be invalidated is if price is able to break below this area of interest and clear these lows, close below these lows. Then that's when we'll be looking for the bearish side for NZDCAD. To the next, we also had the same setup from last week for AUDCAD. We're anticipating a 4-hour deep crab pattern. So we anticipated that price was going to pull back all the way to this area of interest and give us buying opportunities, but price never made its way there and it took off. So going into next week, this is also another possible area of interest. So we can possibly have a reversal pattern here and then take off to complete this deep crab pattern on AUDCAD, or we can still get price to pull back to the initial area of interest that we were expecting price to react from, get the buying opportunity and buy to the upside. The only way this pattern will be invalidated is if we're able to break below this area of interest and clear these lows. If we clear these lows, then we have shifted bearish. Until then, I'm still bullish on AUDCAD and NZDCAD. On to the next. This is GBPNZD, and GBPNZD is currently forming a potential bat or alt bat pattern on a 4-hour time frame. So this is our X, this is our X, this is our A, this is our B, and our possible C, which will be maybe a bat pattern or an alt bat pattern. And if price gives us a very strong bullish momentum, this alt bat pattern might fail and price might continue to the upside to give us a crab pattern. But for now, we are going to focus on just the bat pattern and the alt bat pattern. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest, give us bullish confirmations, and we take the buy to the upside to complete this bat pattern. Or if price is able to give us any strong momentum from this area of this potential reversal zone, we can keep holding, or we can keep holding to the alt bat pattern PRZ, or we can take partials when price gets to the bat pattern PRZ and hold the rest of the positions to the upside. So I'm very bullish on GBPNZD. This is GBPAUD. So GBPAUD has a similar bullish momentum or bullish move as we're looking for it. We'll be looking forward to on GBPNZD. So for the coming week, I'm expecting price to pull back to this area of interest, give us buying confirmations, and we buy to the upside. So we're going to target this high as our first target, and if price gives us a very strong momentum, we can continue the buy to the upside and target this structural high. So we can target this as our second target, but we primarily focus on this high as our first TP, and we'll see what price will do from there. So I'm also bullish on GBPAUD. So this is AUDNZD. AUDNZD, we're expecting a possible pullback to this area of interest, and this video was I think episode 2 of the weekly Forex outlook. So you can go and have a look at that and then get more details on what we were looking forward to on AUDNZD. Regardless, price is still giving us bullish signs. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest, give us bullish confirmations, and we take buys to the upside. And this is forming a potential 4-hour deep crab pattern. So this is the pattern we are looking out for on AUDNZD. We are looking out for this deep crab pattern. So these are B, so our C leg, and we are looking for a possible D leg to the upside. So we're waiting for a possible pullback to this area of interest, get buying confirmations, and we continue the buy to the upside. If this fails and price breaks way below this structural low, then we'll be looking for it to sell to the downside to the original higher time frame areas of interest that we were expecting price to pull back to give us the buy to the upside. So I'm actually bullish on AUDNZD, but we'll wait for price to develop some more to give us more confirmations. Onto gold, we have the same setup from last weekend, I think 2 weeks ago. We're expecting price to pull back to this area of interest and give us buying confirmations to the upside. Price has made its way almost there, and we've still not gotten any confirmations yet. So for the coming week on gold, we're expecting price to pull back maybe a bit deeper into this area of interest, give us some structural confirmations or some structural shifts or bullish confirmations. Then we'll be looking forward to buy to the upside. If this pattern or if this area of interest fails and we get a weekly candle closing below this zone, we get a weekly candle, bearish candle closing strongly below this zone, then gold has shifted bearish. If we get that bearish shift break, the bearish engulfing candle or bearish closure below the zone for gold. So until then, we are still bullish on gold, and we'll be looking forward to potential for our deep crab pattern to the upside, which will possibly give us a new all-time high on gold. So we have UK oil. We're looking forward to this setup from last week. We're expecting price to pull back to this area of interest and give us selling opportunities to the downside, but price never made its way there. So we'll still look out for this trade or this setup for the coming week. We'll be expecting price to pull back to this area of interest, give us selling confirmations, then we can take ourselves to the downside and target this as our first TP, and then our second TP it's going to be here also. So I'm very bearish on the UK oil, and it's a similar setup on US oil as well. So if you trade US oil, this is a similar setup we have on US oil. Then we have S&P 500. Sorry, S&P 500 is extremely bullish now. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest. Look out for bullish confirmations, and we take our buys to the upside. So I'm very bullish on the S&P 500. Also, we have the US 2000, which is the Russell 2000. It's also an indices in the US. So we'll be looking forward to this bullish continuation to the upside. So price might react from this first zone or pull back deeper into the second zone, give us bullish confirmations, and we buy to the upside also to hit this target. So I'm very bullish on the US 2000 or the Russell 2000. This is German 30. So German 30 is also very bullish now. So we're also going to be looking forward to a pullback to this first zone, get buying confirmations, buy to the upside, or we get a pullback to the second zone, get a confirmation to buy, and we buy to the upside to continue this bullish momentum we are seeing on the various indices. So I have one bonus for you for stock traders. So if you trade stocks, the next setup is for you. So we have this setup on applied materials. This is a stock applied materials. So applied materials, as you can see, is forming a potential harmonic pattern. So we currently have our X, we have our A, we We have our B, and a possible C leg is developing as we speak. So going into next week, we're looking forward to pull back into this area, look for bullish confirmations, and get buying opportunities to the upside. So those who are into stock trading can look forward to it. The first target is $240 per share. The second target is $273 per share, and then the last target is $337 per share. So thank you for sticking through to this point of the video. I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch. I'll encourage you to apply proper risk management to your trades and trade safe and sound. Have a fruitful week ahead, and I'll catch you on another episode. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye bye.